Hi, this is Terry from Fabric Junction in Sturgis, South Dakota. And today I'm going to show you the 6.5 inch block that we posted on our blog site, Fabric Junction Jewels, and what you can do with it when you really change the colors up. And it's called Battle of the Alamo. Here is our blocks that we have on our blog site. Came out really pretty. These are going to go in my quilt that I've been making and trying to change the color up a little bit, but definitely in the blues and the purples. But I found this fun dotted fabric and squares and circles, anyway, a fun piece of fabric, and decided to put red and black with it. So on the pattern, what is white, I created black. And then I did red as my accent color, and look at how different a look it creates from the original design. So today I'm going to give you a quick just a quick idea on how to put it together, starting with the 9 patch. If we break our block down into sections, we have a 9 patch and we have half square triangles with a bigger triangle to create an interesting block. The 9 patch. I took 2 strips and sewed them together. Now, one of the things, we've put many 9 patches together before, and normally you would put a combination of the print, the solid, the print, and a combination of the solid, print, solid. Well, since I'm doing a little project, I don't need all those different combinations. So what I did is I'm just putting the 2 together. So I will sew it together, those two, those two, those two. I'll come back and give a quarter turn to these and add my extra one. And that way, like I said, because of the project is so small, I don't need to do all those different combinations. But now if you're going to repeat this block several times, go ahead and make that second combination, or both those combinations, that 3-strip combination. Now I am going to cut mine before I press it, because when I press, I tend to distort a little bit. And I don't mean to, but it just happens. So these I'm cutting into 1.5 inch sections there. And I need 8 of them. And actually, I shouldn't say 8. In my head, I'm thinking 8 blocks, because I'm doing a 9 patch, 9 squares total, so I need actually only 4. So don't go cutting 8. 8 is if I was doing both of these. Well, I already have one done, so I only needed 4 more to do the second one. That makes sense. Hopefully I haven't messed you up too bad. So you'll cut 8 sections to do both 9 patches. Because I've got one done, I only needed 4. So now I can lay them out in the order that they go. There you go. And this one I'm going to start at the top to the bottom. There's that one. I'm going to actually send this one through. just slow. Sometimes when I'm working with these little pieces, the feed dogs don't always catch them exactly the way I want all the time. I take my piece, line it up, and I'm going to sew again. Line up, matching my seams. I can feel them. One is going towards the machine, one's going the other direction. I'm going to open it up, and I'm actually going to go ahead and do my one more before I press it. I'll have all these little guys, and I can feel this one because it's already been pressed, so I know which way to lay it. And then this one underneath, match up. There we go. If you need the pin to match up those seams, that's okay. That doesn't hurt anything. So here's my 9 patch. A little bit funky, but he works. Now on the other block, we're dealing with triangles. We have our black ones that will go next to the red one, and then we need some half square triangles. Well, you only need basically 3. But anytime we do half square triangles, we end up with 4. On this particular one, because of that odd number, when I did this one, I had 1 extra laid over from here. So, half square triangles, I use my 1/4 inch guide. I mark my point to point, and I generally use a sharp pencil. Da-da-da-da. Mine is already marked. So now I'm going to line it up and sew on those lines. And if I was doing a lot of them, I would do one right after the other. When I get to the end, I just grab it, give it a quick turn, and send it back through. I'm going to cut, press. I'm pressing to my dark. These little pieces. I'm not always a big fan of little bitty pieces, but I will admit these 6.5 inch blocks have been kind of fun. They've exposed me to a lot of blocks that I've not done, such as this one. And there's some that I won't ever do again because I didn't care for them. There's some that I really like that I'm going to put in other projects. So once I get my piece laid out, I sew it together. And I actually start from this side on this one because I want to do those little triangles kind of last. So there's one. Here's its mate. And I like to line up on this corner. Keeps me a little bit straighter. So when number 1 comes off, I can go back and I can go, okay, line up on that one. And this one, I'm going to give it a quick little press so that triangle is laying down exactly where I want it, so I can add the bottom triangle. Sanding through, come on. There it goes, a little slow. Now I got them sewn, so now I can press again. Where is he? There he is. Make sure I have my layout. I kind of double check it. And I feel to see if my intersections are matching up, and they are. And once again, if you need, you can slip a pin in there. That is okay. Come on. There's a lot of layers right there in that corner. And I know sometimes machines are a little bit slow to go through that many layers, and then plus it's so small. But there is our triangle. Get rid of our dog ears. There we go. And then I'm going to match it up with the larger one, and hopefully I'm pretty accurate. It looks like I hit it pretty close. Now I'm going to watch those little intersections so that I don't cut off some of my points. Strings, trim my dog ears. Now, as you can see, this is really a nice block. So you have your 9 patches, you have your fun triangle, and then you'll just sew those together. Okay? That is the block. And like I said, here's a great contrast when you use black versus white. Now to build it up to the pot holder size that I want, I actually added border to it. And in this case, I wanted to kind of extend out my little piece. So instead of adding just a frame around it, I added a cornerstone in each corner. So my side pieces are 1.5 by 6.5. And then my little corners are 1.5 square. So I sewed them to a strip that is 1.5 by 7.5. And I wanted them to extend on each end. So that's how I finished up my block. Once the block is together, I get my backing. Like I said, nice and big. A piece of batting. And as you can tell, that's just a scrap piece. And I like to use Insulbrite then because it creates a much nicer touch. By having the Insulbrite in there, it controls the heat so that I don't have to worry about it. When I've finished that and I layer, I've done just a nice simple little stitch in the ditch. This would be a great time for you to play with your free motion quilting or something on these. But this particular one, stitch in the ditch, and I did not stitch clear out here because I wanted that red to look continuous. That's up to you. It's a little harder to see it on that side. But either way, this is what I've done with the Battle of the Alamo, and I hope you've enjoyed this blog. Check out our blog, Fabric Junction Jewels, or go to our website. And we'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching us here at Fabric Junction.